Detective Zack and the Secret of Noah's Flood by Jerry D. Thomas. Chapter 1. Noah and the Tooth Fairy. Daniel Boone National Forest, Twin Knobs Campground, Kentucky, June 27th. Why am I lying in my sleeping bag in a tent, writing in a notebook? What am I doing in Daniel Boone's forest? It's a long story, so I'll start at the beginning. I'm trying to be still so I won't wake up my sister or brother, but it's not easy to write straight on this bumpy ground, especially with a pencil in one hand and a flashlight in the other. Anyway, it all started when my dad came home to tell us that we were going on a trip this summer. At first, I didn't want to go. I mean, I would miss out on summer camp and everything. But when he told me where we were going, I changed my mind, because it's going to help me solve a mystery. Really, I guess it started when my friend Bobby told me I was crazy. He wasn't being mean. He was just telling me what he thought. Friends are like that. And we're really good friends. We have a fort in the woods behind my house. No one else knows where it is. One day, when we were building a secret lookout tower, I said something about Noah's Ark. "I wonder how this big rock got here," Bobby had asked. He was standing on a rock that's bigger than my dad's van. It's the back wall of our fort, and our lookout station is on top. "I'm sure the flood left it there," I said as I carried another branch up to the top. "What flood?" "You know, the flood. With Noah and the ark and everything." I'm sure he was teasing me. "You're kidding me!" I set the branch down and looked at him. "No, I'm not. How else do you think this big rock got here?" He laughed at me. "Nobody believes Noah and the flood is a true story." "I do." "I guess you believe in the Easter Bunny and the Tooth Fairy are real." "What are you talking about?" "Don't you believe the stories in the Bible are real?" I thought he was just kidding, but he was being serious. "Don't you know that scientists have proved that the world is millions of years old?" "No, I never..." "And they can prove that there was never a flood that covered the whole world." I was getting confused. I knew that some scientists said these things, but I didn't think anyone believed them. "I don't think that's true." "Who told you that?" "We learned it in school. It's in my science book, so it has to be true." "But the Bible says that Noah's flood really happened." "How could the Bible be wrong?" "My teacher says that the Bible is just an old storybook, like Grimm's fairy tales or Mother Goose stories. She says that only some old-fashioned Christians still believe that stories like the flood really happened." "Are you an old-fashioned Christian?" I didn't like being called old-fashioned. It sounded like old Mrs. Harper's dresses or a fire engine pulled by horses. But I didn't know what to say. I wanted to tell him to shut up, but that didn't seem right. Lucky for me, someone else spoke up. "Zack, time for supper. Come home." It was my mom. "I gotta go," I mumbled and ran to my house. I have to tell you, I was very confused. I thought everyone believed that the Bible was true, that the flood was real. Right after Dad said the blessings while he reached for the mashed potatoes, I threw the question at him. "Dad, are the stories in the Bible true?" Dad dropped the serving spoon into the gravy. My mom stopped pouring Kayla's juice and stared at me. Kayla's spoonful of corn stopped halfway to her mouth. "She's my sister." "Okay, for a girl. Don't tell her I said that." Even Alex stopped chewing for a minute. He's 7. "What do you mean, Zack?" Dad fished out the spoon and used it to paint Kayla's potatoes with the brown gravy. "I mean, are they real or just pretend? Like fairy tales or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?" "Zack, we've always taught you that the Bible stories and people are real." Mom poured the juice as she talked. "Who told you they weren't?" "Bobby told me that scientists can prove that the Earth is millions of years old and that there was never a flood that covered the whole Earth." "And why do you think he might be right?" Dad asked. "He said it was in a science book, and his teacher told him that the Bible was just an old storybook." Dad looked across the salad bowl at me. Kayla was watching him too, waiting for his answer. Even Alex was listening. Part of what Bobby said is true. "It is?" Kayla was shocked. "Please, let me finish." Dad looked sharply at her. "Bobby is right. Many scientists believe that the Bible is wrong, that there was no flood, and most public schools don't teach that God created the earth and all the things that live on it. Instead, they teach evolution. The idea that over millions of years the earth and the living things on it just kind of developed on their own." "But can they prove it?" I asked. "They think they can, but I think they're wrong." "Can you prove that the Bible is right?" "No, I can't prove it." That's why the Bible says we need faith. Zack, do you know what the Bible says faith is? "No." This time, Mom spoke up. "Zack, do you know what the word evidence means? Isn't it like clues?" "Yes. A detective looks for evidence or clues to solve a mystery. The Bible says that faith is the evidence of things not seen." "What do you think that means?" I chewed up a mouthful of mashed potatoes while I thought about it. "I guess it means that faith is believing in something when there aren't enough clues to prove it." "That's right, Zack. But if the whole world was covered with water, wouldn't there be some clues left behind?" I wish I could tell Bobby some things that his scientists left out. something that would show him that the flood could have happened. It was the next day when Dad came home with the good news about the summer. But my flashlight batteries are running out, and I haven't even explained why I'm here or why I'm writing in my notebook. Well, I'll get to that tomorrow. I better write myself a note to ask Dad for new batteries. Interesting things I've seen. Nothing yet. Important words. Scientists. People who study all about science to find out how or when or why things happen. Almost like detectives. Faith. Believing in something even when there aren't enough clues to prove it. Evidence. Clues about what really happened. Detective. Someone who solves mysteries by searching for clues about what happened. Evolution. The idea that the earth and living things on it just kind of developed on their own over millions of years of time. Noah's flood clues.